Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Why are we talking about a country like Sweden today? Tiny country far away from India with just 1 crore population, and really it doesn't feature very much in our public discourse or our lives. The only time it did, it had to be because of an arms purchase scandal, Bofors scandal in 1987. That was a long time back. But we talk about Sweden today because Sweden has for quite some time, has been held out as a model of a couple of things. One, it's been held out as a model of great socialism, as the best example of socialism. Within that socialism, Sweden has been held out as the example of the finest public medical system in the world. In fact, Sweden is a country where something like private healthcare almost doesn't exist because the state looks after everything. It taxes you at a very high rate, but it looks after everything, and it is top class. In fact, most countries in the world dream of having a welfare system and a health system or a medical system run by public authorities as good as Sweden's, the best in the world. And third thing it has been held out as a model for lately is dealing with coronavirus crisis. Now, why so about Sweden? Because Sweden followed a method that was different from the rest of the world, particularly from the rest of Europe, rest of the developed world. Sweden is a top developed country. Per capita income, PPP of $58,000. Can't get more prosperous than that. And very widely spread out country. So very little population density compared to, say, big cities or countries with big cities. So Sweden decided early on, when countries were debating over how to deal with it, so some countries said, let's have a full lockdown. India decided on a full lockdown, a draconian full lockdown for 3 weeks, 3 more weeks after that, then a slow opening up. Now we are opening up a little bit more. So 6 weeks of complete draconian lockdown. Some countries decided to have a partial lockdown. Say Pakistan in our neighborhood had a partial lockdown. In fact, Imran Khan even mocked नरेंद्र मोदी एंड सेट जिनकी 56 इंच की छाती हैं, उन्होंने तो डर के कर दिया सारे मुल्क को लॉकडाउन, और देखो मैंने नहीं किया. अगेन आई टोल्ड यू दिस वायरस मेक्स यू पे इफ यू आर एरोगेंट विद इट. देन यू हैव कंट्रीज लाइक US and UK. US and UK both thought there was no need for lockdown right away, that this will pass, but soon enough they realized it was not working, so UK went into a full lockdown mode. America a little bit less, but still in more or less a full lockdown mode. America began opening up earlier, both locked down too late. There was a point, in the evolution of the virus, or not evolution, that's a bad word because it gets confused in science, with the trend in the infectivity in Britain. It was thought that Britain would have been better off staying with the initial idea that Boris Johnson and his advisors had of going for herd immunity. That is to try and tell the old people to stay at home, let young people go out and get infected. A few will die, but in the process, a large enough percentage will get immune, and thereby they will give the entire population herd immunity. So Britain started on that, but when infections went up and death started rising, they lost their nerve and went back to the idea of a lockdown. So Britain was held out as absolutely the worst example. The worstest example was Brazil, where again Bolsonaro said, what is this virus? I don't care about this virus. And Brazil is hit very badly now. But in the middle of all this, the country that was held out as a model for the whole world, one of course was South Korea. South Korea tested a large number of people, was able to block it very fast. So South Korea is one example which still remains, although it takes some doing what South Korea did. Not only did they test a lot of people, but they had one person employed to track every contact, and any contact who disappeared from sight, who was not traceable for even a few hours or at least a day, was fined $10,000. So that is one model that has worked. The other model that was seen to have worked was New Zealand. New Zealand once again, so this whole clamor started, देश का नेता कैसा हो, जसिंदा आर्डर्न जैसा हो. Not just that, दुनिया का नेता कैसा हो, जसिंदा आर्डर्न जैसा हो. So New Zealand also was able to get over the virus quite fast and has done very well. So again, that model remains. But the third model, which was held out as a great example of a country with not as thinly spread out as many of the others, but which had dealt with in Europe, with a lot of people going in and out, had dealt with the disease much better. Also, country which is not, which has land borders, had dealt with it very well was Sweden. So that was the third thing for which Sweden was held out as an example. And what did Sweden do? Sweden followed the advice of its state epidemiologist Anders Tegnell. And Anders Tegnell said that there is no need to lock down. You cannot lock down this virus, and there is no need for lockdown. You let people develop herd immunity. And his way of developing that herd immunity was, the system they followed was, one, no lockdown. Number two, there will be voluntary social distancing. You have a very highly educated, aware population, fully literate, not just literate, well educated, high quality population, very well to do. They know what's good for them. I am putting all of this in quotes. So they will take care, you trust them, and put some restrictions, no gatherings of more than 50 people, no visiting other cities, intercity travel, no visiting relatives, and no visiting the homes, care homes, which have your older people. So they put all these in place and banned non-essential travel as well. And it did look like for some time that they were doing all right. So we have visited this a couple of times in Cut the Clutter in the past. Once to say that this seemed to be coming unstuck because Sweden's fatality rates were going up. But then when experience from Britain and elsewhere came and Sweden looked to be stabilizing, it did look like that no, Sweden did not have it that wrong. Maybe they were right. Maybe they were right not to lock down, even while their neighbors, Finland, Denmark, Norway, locked down, and of course Belgium, France, Italy, they all followed the lockdown policy, but late and had high fatalities. Now where do we stand? Now I'd say that the Swedish model is unraveling. And there's a reason why I talk about Sweden and why it's relevant for us. The reason is that you have to understand that this is a virus that nobody knew earlier. So people say, oh, you're not consulting epidemiologists. I see people in India, now I see it's very fashionable for one odd epidemiologist to appear on every channel and let people come out. A couple of million people will die, no big deal. A couple of million people dying is a big deal. That is 20% more deaths in India than happen in a year. So, and every life is valuable. So these are mathematical models. Again, I'm not disputing the science of epidemiology, but, and nor am I saying that the Swedish chief state epidemiologist is a nutcase. But the fact is, and as is now being acknowledged, that all these mathematical models of epidemiological studies on viral spread were based on viruses that we had known earlier. This is a new kind of virus. So maybe those mathematical models don't apply to this virus. So Sweden went with its mathematical modeling chief epidemiologist, Anders Tegnell, who's very well reputed. Sweden went against the flow. They defied their neighboring countries, fellow Scandinavian countries. They went in the direction opposite from all European countries. They went in the direction opposite of all developed country peers. And everybody was looking at them. Now, where are we now? And that is, hold your breath. Today, Sweden has had 4,542 deaths on a population of 1 crore. In fact, if you just extrapolate this, say, to India's population, this equals 5,56,000 deaths. So 5,56,000 deaths, equivalent of that, a country which is at least almost 30 times richer on a per capita basis than India, and much less thinly populated, with the world's best public healthcare system, the finest, the best doctors, the best hospitals, the most aware population. Its neighbors who actually followed the policy of lockdown. Denmark only 580 dead, Finland 321 dead, Norway 237 dead, all in three figures. Okay, each one has population in the 50 lakh, 5 million plus ballpark. So about say half the population of Sweden, but a fraction of the deaths of Sweden. Now let's look at it on per million basis. So if you look at per million deaths, Belgium is the highest, 833. UK is the second highest, 597. UK, as we know, they got pyaz bhi khaye, jute bhi khaye. They were like the story of the onion thief, which first said, I will eat 100 onions in punishment, then said I will take 100 shoe beatings, at 10 of it this, 10 of this, ended up having both. So Britain first tried herd immunity, then came to a lockdown, ended up having the worst of both worlds. So 597 per million. Spain third worst, 580. Italy fourth worst, 556. And who's the fifth worst? You would think America, you would think Brazil or any of those countries. No, it is Sweden. It is the holy, venerable Sweden, with its high per capita income, with its fine socialism so good that an author I keep talking about all the time, P.J. O'Rourke, when he wrote a collection called Eat the Rich, and he visited various countries to talk about what works and what doesn't, he said, look, can you say capitalism works and capitalism doesn't? So he shows you a country with capitalism that doesn't work, one that works. Similarly, socialism that doesn't work, Cuba, and socialism that works, Sweden. So even for him, Sweden was a country where socialism worked, ideal socialism. Sweden now is 446 per million and rising, because in other countries now deaths are tapering off. Other countries have had their lockdowns, they are opening up. They've suffered the economic damage in those lockdowns, but they are now opening up, and their economies are opening up, and their fatality rates are now dropping quite steeply. In Sweden, on the other hand, the lockdown is still not there. They decided to go the herd immunity way. Their fatality rates per million are catching up with the worst in the world and rising. They are not declining. They are rising. They've already suffered economic damage, and they will suffer more economic damage. In fact, Sweden's finance minister now has said that Sweden's GDP decline this year will be about 7%. Her name is Magdalena Andersson. She has said this will be the worst year of Sweden's economy since World War II, and the economy will contract 7%, which is about the same as the EU ballpark. So Sweden's case also is choosing the wrong way. So once again, the world's most likely country to succeed with herd immunity has shown you that herd immunity has been a disaster for it. Now, Dr. Anders Tegnell, what does he say? And I'm quoting a lot of this data from a detailed BBC article on what happened in Sweden and how the Swedish model has gone wrong. Now, Dr. Tegnell has himself admitted that the model has gone wrong. So he had told the BBC in April, he said that there is a high death toll, but that's because old age homes were not able to stop the virus from coming in there. That's why a lot of old people died. But that is the story. A lot of old people have died in Italy. Average age of all the dead in Italy is 81. A lot of old people have died in care homes or nursing homes in Britain and America. So how did Sweden get it any different from the rest of them? And Sweden is much better equipped than America or UK, or their health systems enormously better equipped. And yet this disaster visited them. So he said that, look, while we had high death toll, mainly because old age homes were able to prevent the virus from coming in, This does not disqualify our strategy. He said this in April. So once you get wedded to an idea, it's very difficult to break off, and that's when you continue to compound your errors. Now what has he told Swedish Radio? He has told Swedish Radio, if we were to encounter the same disease again, knowing exactly what we know about it today, I think we would settle on something in between what Sweden did and what the rest of the world has done. So Sweden again went at this virus with a sense of arrogance that we know best, we are going to deal with it with chodi chati, and Sweden is now paying for it. So once again, a dictator can be arrogant with the virus, a democrat can be arrogant with the virus, and also a socialist system, a modern, rich socialist system relying on science can also be arrogant with the virus. With this virus, you need humility. Now, Norway, the neighboring countries which are opening up their economies, and Sweden's a mess. Norway's public health chief, Frode Fordland, I am also quoting from the BBC story, he said Sweden got caught up too much into historical models of viruses while neighbors enforced a lockdown. So what does it mean? It means that Sweden allowed its epidemiologist who was modeling based on previously known viruses for COVID, and that went wrong. Whereas the countries that were more humble and that lockdown in Sweden's neighborhood have done much better. So once again, don't rely on a mantra, even if it comes from any one science. Also because we should have known that this is a new virus. Now Sweden's former state epidemiologist. So the current state epidemiologist has egg, unfortunately, on his face. But his predecessor, who's Annika Linde, she says that this response was all wrong. Sweden should have had early lockdown and care homes should have been sealed, and also there should have been more intensive testing and tracing. So Sweden is the story that I thought we will tell you. Opposition leader there, in fact, Jimmy Ekson, he says that statement by Tegnell that we should have chosen the middle path between lockdown and what we have done is astonishing. And he says, for many months, critics have been consistently dismissed by Sweden's epidemiologist. Sweden has done everything right and the world has done everything wrong, we have been told, and now this. So this is where the Swedish story is, and I thought it's important for me to share this with you. And second, देश का सिस्टम कैसा हो, कम से कम स्वीडन जैसा नहीं हो, because not like Sweden, because sometimes you can become a prisoner to dogma or ideology. So dogma in science is also bad, and I think ultimately these calls on issues like this will be taken by politicians. They will listen to scientists. Politicians who don't listen to scientists go wrong. Politicians who only listen to scientists also go wrong, because science is not absolute. There are different points of view in science. So leaders have to listen to everybody and then arrive at a thoughtful decision, knowing that when things go wrong, the risk will lie at their doors, as Donald Trump, Bolsonaro, Boris Johnson, they are all realizing, and in the course of time, the leaders of Sweden are also realizing.